fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Would I have been better off what?
Would you have been better off not going to college with this car?
Oh.
I mean, if I'm a young
I would
driver,
never.
do I want to
I
go
would
to
never
college?
say that. College is definitely important. Having that background, having that understanding, all those things I've always talked about, that's still huge. No matter if it's this car or another car or an Indy car or a hobby stock, that doesn't matter. You know, the ability to communicate with either it's you or my crew chief or my sponsors, those things on different levels make a huge difference. And college helped me with that. I'm not the greatest at doing it, but I would have not been as good as I am now had I not gone to college. So just in a roundabout way, you know, this car has been a challenge for a lot of people, and it wasn't designed to be a cakewalk.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we'll take a follow-up question from Travis Braun with USA Today.
Hey, Ryan, just a follow-up question from that question earlier about the Brickyard. Has the track changed at all in those 7 years that you've ran it? I mean, just surface-wise or anything? Is it any different coming into this weekend?
I liked it the best before they repaved it, and then I liked it best after when they repaved it. Basically, they ground it and cut it, and that seemed to me to make it a lot worse and a lot more sensitive. It was its best before. It had a little imperfections, it had a little bumps here and there, but that was when it was its best. Was before they repaved it, you know, whatever it was 3-4 years ago.
Great, thanks very much, Ryan.
You're welcome.
We'll now hear from Tony Fabrizio with Tampa Tribune.
Ryan, as hard as it is for an organization like Penske even to win at NASCAR's top level consistently, how difficult do you think it'll be for Tony Stewart to get that organization, you know, up and running at championship caliber level?
Well, I think you can maybe kind of compare it to the Red Bull team. Those guys have had good runs. Obviously, from a Toyota standpoint, they have a lot of resources. You know, with seeing what Joe Gibbs has done with Toyota and the fact that they're pretty dominant right now with Kyle Busch behind the wheel. You know, you never know. I still say it's a people business. The people drive the performance. The people drive how fast the cars go and how well people communicate and how well you can keep that cycle running. As we talked about earlier, some things cycle out. Sometimes you're on top, sometimes you're on the bottom, and it might take a year. It might take 15 years. You know, we've seen Roush struggle. We've seen Roush be dominant, and Hendrick the same way. So, you know, whether it's Stewart Haas or Penske Racing, I still say it revolves all around the people.
Is that one of the factors you're weighing, how quickly that team can be championship caliber?
Without a doubt, any team from a people standpoint, you know, just the people build the cars, the people talk to the sponsors, the people do so many things, including drive the race car and work on it. So, you know, it's probably one of the most overlooked resources in our sport.
Very good, thanks.
Thank you.
We'll now hear from Dwight Drum with Racetake.com.
Hi, Ryan. It would take a phenomenal brain or many brains to remember how many times you cranked up a car for a race, but is every race still an adventure for you?
Absolutely. I think a lot of the butterflies are gone that used to be there when I was a rookie, at least in the Cup Series. It used to take me sometimes 15, 20 laps just to settle down and relax and think about what's going on. But you know, I think I'm a little bit more focused on and a little bit more calm about being focused on the things that are going to happen throughout the race. And sometimes that is worse because when you think you can expect what is going to happen, you become surprised, and that's not good. But in general, yeah, I've since I was 4.5, I've been driving a race car, so I've heard lots of crankshaft rotations, and it's been a lot of fun. Every race is a lot of fun.
You mentioned all the history at Indy. Do you think drivers today have to have more skills today than say, the drivers of decades past?
In reference to stock cars or other race cars?
Well, I guess all. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, there's the Richard Petty's and you know, on the open wheel side, you've got the A.J. Foyts and everything. But do you think probably with stock cars, let's just locate it?
I can answer from a worldwide standpoint. I think with the addition of technology and engineering and components and different kinds of metals and all the things that go along with carbon fiber and things like that, that there has, that just technology in general has created a let's just say a common denominator or a leveling device to be able to give people that maybe aren't or weren't as much of a good driver or a manhandler, let's say, from a non-sexist standpoint, to be able to hustle the car around the racetrack. Be it power steering, be it lighter components, be it things like that, that have made it better and easier for drivers who maybe wouldn't have been successful. If you look at drivers from the 50s and 60s, they were big guys with big arms and just tough, front teeth missing on occasion from a rock type guys. And I don't think you would have that today. It's not even necessary today to be that big or that tough. So I think that drivers used to be a lot tougher and were probably better because of that, 30, 40 years ago.
Thanks a lot, Ryan, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
We'll now go to Kerry Murphy with the final lap.
Hey, Ryan, thanks so much for being on with us today. Your teammate and yourself, Sam Hornish Jr., have extensive experience at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, although he has more in the IndyCar. Given that those different experiences, can you guys help each other at all this weekend?
Well, we want to and we'd like to. You just never know until you get there. Again, we have a different situation with this race car. A different tire combination, and you just never know how things are going to go. We do get quite a bit of practice, and he knows, so I know Sam knows a lot about the racetrack, but again, it's an entirely different race car for me, let alone Sam, to be able to try to adapt to that racetrack. So in the end, I'm sure Sam will help have it figured out, but in the beginning, we're both going to be trying to figure it out.
Has he asked you for any advice going into this weekend?
Not yet. We're not there yet, man. Maybe Friday morning we'll talk about it.
All right, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll now hear from Brandon McAuliffe with RaceWeekOnline.com.
Hi, Ryan. Thanks for joining us today. How hard has it been to watch, Roger's IndyCar teams excel like they have this year whenever, you and Sam have struggled for the most part and Kurt's kind of been hit or miss?
I think we've all been hit or miss, whether it's the IndyCar team or the stock car team. If you look at just the pure math of it, the IndyCar team, they're competing against sometimes a half, sometimes a third the competitors, so your stats are going to look better in general. But we've had some good runs. Kurt's got a win, I've got a win. Sam had a great run at Daytona going, in the 500, and it's a learning and a growing year. It's been a challenging year for all of us. I don't think Roger can sit there and tell you that he's happy where his IRL team is or his ALMS team is from a performance standpoint. I don't think we're ever necessarily happy, but we all go on, we march forward.
And one other question. You talked earlier about what Chrissy's been doing behind the scenes. What exactly role has she played in your search for a new team?
She's been more stressed out and high-strung than I have in the whole situation, but that's just because she cares a lot, and that means a lot to me. So, we talk about it. We lay in bed and talk about it until she puts me to sleep talking about it sometimes. But, that's great. I appreciate having a friend, obviously a wife, that will take the time and talk about something that means so much to her. So. It's nice to have a sounding board. It's nice to have somebody to bounce things off of. It's nice to be told, you're not the brightest person in the world. So, in a roundabout way, it's all good.
All right, thanks, man.
Thank you.
We'll now hear from Tom Jensen with Speed.
Hi, Ryan. You said earlier that Roger Penske says effort equals results, and if you're not getting results, perhaps you're not putting in the effort. Can you elaborate on that, or is there some element with the team that you're not satisfied is working hard enough, you're not doing enough testing? What specifically were you referring to?
I think it's a compound combination of things, but I totally believe it. I'm not trying to sound smart about it. I totally believe in what he says. Effort equals results. We all know that. If you don't put the effort in, you don't get the results. And the bottom line is, if you have to figure out as the company head, the chairman, whatever, where you're weak and what your weakness is, whether it's your drivers, your crew chiefs, your engine department, your engineering, your shock program, the guys that are setting the pressures on the tires. It could be anything. It could be a group of things, but I think just collectively, the effort is not getting us the results, and that's that was what I was referring to.